Hello everyone, HierarchARiA here with an actual cast this time. This is going to be a 3v3 that I played in. I'm going to be spawning up here as the teal Protoss. This is my best race and this is my favorite color, so everything's going right for me. My allies are the red Terran, the blue Protoss, and our opponents are going to be the yellow Protoss here, the purple Terran, and the orange Protoss. Now I'm not going to try and pronounce the player names because that'll just be me butchering people's names, and I don't really want to do that. So this is going to be a 3v3 on the whatever we don't care map, because really in 3v3s everything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's why I prefer 1v1s over 3v3s, but it's still fun to play these every once in a while to sort of mess around. When I play Protoss in non-1v1s, I like to go Phoenix and then Carrier. Which really you can't do in 1v1s, because you just get rolled over because you have no army. And any sort of pressure will just basically get you killed. Now, it does look like everything's going on pretty standard. We don't have anything cheesy going on, like a proxy 2-gate or any sort of 2 racks proxy. Although this probe, this seems to be doing something sneaky. Although he does get scouted, so whatever he was planning to do isn't going to be done. And what's going on here? It seems like Terran's walling in. I don't really like walling in. I want to wall in when there's a Zerg around. If you're walling against Terran and Protoss, I sometimes find it being a waste of effort and resources, since it's kind of easy to snipe if you have units on the low ground. It looks like this probe's going to be harassing the SDV, pretty standard stuff. Although I don't really see that often in my 1v1s, even if I have a Protoss opponent. Although I do like to do that. We got the gateway going down. We have double gas going on from the yellow Protoss, and we have a single gas from the orange Protoss. I haven't gotten my second gas yet. I don't know why this yellow player is getting his gas so early. I usually like to get it halfway when the cybernetics core is done. It looks like Terran's opening with 2 racks, although not proxy, so he might be going for an early push, trying to deal some damage. Terran is a really harassy race in team games. I have played many games where I just go straight Hellions, and then Banshees, and then Drops, and then Reapers. There's like, well not in that order, because late game Reapers are just worthless. But yeah, I've been managing to do that and win games, so it is possible to just go pure harass with Terran, and it's fun. Looks like purple is going to be going the I don't build workers build. I feel like he doesn't really have a lot. Let's take a look at the units tab. I haven't really watched a lot of replays, so I don't know my hotkeys for them. Although really, I'd rather be playing games than watching replays, so yeah. The purple have 15 workers, so yeah, he's well, actually this orange player has a lot of workers. I guess he's not really that much behind workers. It just looked like he didn't have a lot of workers. So yeah. What do we have here from the orange player? We have the Robo going down. And the blue player is going for more gateways. And the red player is still on 1 gas. I don't really know what he's planning. Probably just a lot of Marines. Although he doesn't really have the barracks count to make a lot of Marines for an early timing attack. The yellow Protoss is going for a lot of gateways. And purple is still doing absolutely nothing. I don't see any tech out of him. He's still on 1 gas. I don't really know what he's doing. See over here, I am putting down 3 gates. I find that in team games it's better to have a couple more gates in case some sort of annoying things happen, like everyone piles you. That's really what I hate about these games. You can try and put on some early pressure, you get piled, and you can try and early expand and you get piled. So now I just do silly stuff off of 1 base. And right now I'm feeling the Phoenix. Everyone's sort of just macroing up. Nobody's doing any attacks early on. There's not much harassing going on. Well, purple is moving out with 2 Marines. Although these really shouldn't do anything. He's finally building a second gas as well as his factory, so I guess he's trying to tech up a bit. He's got stim packs almost done. I don't know what his plan for that is. This Marine's probably going to kill my probe, and we're experiencing a little bit of lag there. Apparently he didn't micro well. Well, I guess it's really hard to micro against a probe. I have tried many times at the beginning to try and kill off the scouting worker, and I've never really succeeded in doing that. So I can't really blame him. And it looks like I'm taking my expand right now. and our opponent's yellow is doing the add on a bunch of gateways build. It appears like he's going charge lots and nothing else. Purple is adding on a starport. I'm kind of curious as to if he's going to swap these to go for Cloak Banshees. No, it looks like he's just adding on a reactor, going for probably the standard Terran Bile army. And over here, Orange just finished his warp gates. His Robotech is on the way. Apparently he's making Colossus, and he's getting the thermal lance upgrade for Colossus range. Although really, Colossus without range is kind of worthless. Over here we see the blue player still not done his gateway. Well, he's done, I guess. He's done his warp gate research. I guess he just doesn't like warp gates. The red player is here with a lot of Marauders, although not really. Well, there's a lot of Marauders over here, so I guess he's going pure Marauders. Interesting tech choice here. Although really, in these kind of non-1v1s, Terrans just go Marauders, Protoss go Stalkers, and Zerg make Roaches. While Protoss also make DTs and Void Rays. So Marauders is a good choice, I guess. But although not against the amount of charge lots we're seeing here. Although the yellow player kind of switched to Stalkers now. So the unit composition is a little bit more standard. Over here we see the Colossus owning a bunch of Marauders. This is also something I don't like about these games. You get compositions like this where you don't really know what to do against it. Mix in some Vikings and you really don't know what to do against it. But yeah, my expansion is going up. I got my Stargates rolling, I got my Phoenix rolling, so I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Over here in the red player is getting a factory, he's getting his upgrades. Pretty standard. He's getting his expansion up. Blue is also taking an expand right now. Orange player does not seem to be liking expansions very much. The purple has taken an expand, and yellow does not really like expansions either. So we're up on expansion, so that's good for us. We also have the center watchtower on this end. Watchtower is always important to hold to see when the attacks are coming and where the attacks are coming. Getting quite a bit of Phoenixes around. I'll probably push out after I have more Phoenixes. Or I guess I can push out right now. It seems like blue player did a little poke here. Didn't really see much. We got a drop coming from purple and orange. What do we got in here? We got Immortals, Zealots, and we got the standard Terran army. Over here you see the Phoenix will start to pick up some probes and try to damage the economy. Phoenix have a 10-second suppress, which is really useful to have. It kind of just effectively removes key units from battle. I really like it. Over here we see the Immortal drop starting and the Marine drops, forcing the probes away. This cannon, randomly placed in the middle of nowhere, is actually going to see some use. We see the Stalkers coming back here to defend. Can probably pick off this Immortal. Although no, the Immortal loads up. My Phoenix are going to come here and attempt to intercept the dropships, I mean the medevacs. And the medevacs are going to be forced to unload here. Although I do take out both medevacs. So the units are forced to unload here. They don't really have a lot of health. I highly doubt they're going to be able to get the Nexus. And back at base we see more Phoenixes being produced out of me. Orange still decides he hates expansions, and yellow doing the same, making a lot of Zealots. Getting his armor upgrades, getting his weapons upgrade, double forge, always a good thing to have. Looks like the pylon going down the mineral line to prevent any more Phoenix harass from happening. Purple still doing whatever purple does. Probably going for more drops. Base layout, kind of like mine, messy, things being built everywhere. Over here we see Phoenix harassing some more. Phoenix is very good against Colossus, just because Protoss don't really have good anti-air. Over here we see a not defended mineral line, so I'm going to pick up a bunch of probes and start killing them again. We do have a push from blue and red. Don't know what's going on here. The Colossus is actually on the cliff, which is a good position, but the Phoenix will just start attacking the Colossus. They don't really do a lot of damage, considering the amount of Phoenix there is, but really, they're not really meant to kill a Colossus. And they do tank a lot of Stalker hits before finally going down. So here we have a huge engagement here. My Phoenix are doing their best trying to pick up the key units like the tank and killing the Colossus. Although really there's just, this battle kind of, yeah, it's not really worth fighting or losing any Phoenix over. I did manage to kill a couple of Colossus, so that's a nice victory for us. Although we are being forced to retreat, and this is quite a large army coming here at Blue's expansion. And all I seem to have are Phoenixes, which aren't really the best when dealing with this many stalkers, even though they can tank a lot of damage. But I do have a small ground army that I can use. They're not really going to do much. But Blue should be losing his Nexus here. I can take out the Colossus with my Phoenix. These Phoenix are pretty high on energy, so they can actually pick up quite a few stalkers. But I decide to back out here, considering how many stalkers there are here. I just don't have the unit count to deal with that right now. Over here in base, you see the fleet bacon going down. I'm going to be going for carriers in this game. I actually played this, even though I haven't seen it in a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I played it. I still remember that I went carriers. But here comes the army trying to push at red expansion now. Or maybe they're going to go up to blue and deal some damage. They really should be killing the probes. So there, they're starting to kill the probes. That's a good thing. This medevac really should be dead by now. Over here you see stalkers being lifted, and really this is a lot of stalkers being lifted. Too many Phoenix. This Terran army should be able to clean up the Protoss without too much problems. And over here we see that the drop is still doing damage, killing off every single worker in the mineral line. Blue really should have ran them away. And over here I'm just going to kill off the dropship and pick up all the Marauders and kill them. Because really there's enough Phoenix here, so enough that I can actually kill off these armored units. Even though Phoenix only do 10 damage versus armored. Over here is the Orange finally taking an expansion. Abandoning his I hate expansions playstyle. But he still haven't really, well he has one cannon. He has two cannons up here, so I guess this is defended against Phoenix harass. I don't really like losing Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix are a good unit to have to mix with your carrier army, because they can basically pick up the anti-air like the stalkers. I can't really do anything about the Marines, but they will be able to suppress a lot of the stalkers so that your carriers don't get owned as fast. Over here you see me trying to cut up the destructible rock so I can take a third base. Mostly for the Vespene gas, because carriers require a lot of Vespene gas. Although really what in the Protoss army doesn't require a lot of Vespene gas. Yellow does have a lot of stalkers. This won't be good for my carriers. He's still rolling on with rolling with the upgrades. That's really good for him. Usually I found that to be placed in platinum, the best thing to do is work on your upgrades, work on your expands, and running into Marines is not a good thing. We see Blue suffering here, not being able to produce many workers. He has not enough minerals to produce any workers right now. I don't think he asked for any minerals either. Over here you see a lot of stalkers and Phoenix flying around. I decided to put down a bunch of pylons because I'm supply blocked, and producing carriers out of 4 Stargates really takes the supply out of you. Seems like right now red is doing rather well. They do have a lot of ground army. Purple has made a Thor for some reason. I don't really know. Interesting unit choice right there. Purple has security, high yield expansion. I don't know really what he plans to do with that. His unit choice has been peculiar. And this Viking being here, I don't know, might be trying to spot any attempts to expand over here. Don't really know what's going on, but the expansion for yellow will be finishing very soon, transferring workers at a very good time. Although these might be a little bit early. Yeah, they're a bit early. Really, long distance mining at this point isn't going to hurt him. Over here, my carriers are just being piled up at the back. I don't really like revealing my carriers, because any amount of anti-air will just wreck any fleet of carriers, especially Vikings and Corruptors, and Void Rays to some extent. Blue seems to be getting back on his feet, although I don't really agree with his mining of the Vespene gas. He should probably stick to minerals and until he has enough mineral income for constant probe production. Someone should actually take this expansion, because we're down in expansion right now, which isn't what happened before. Orange continuing with Colossus production, chrono boosting a robo that's not producing anything. That's a very Ghostu strat right there. We should see that more often in MLGs. Over here you see the Phoenix move out to take out some stalkers, and I have my Zealots. Really, this much suppression on stalkers can really tear apart any pure stalker army. Zealots are pretty good against stalkers on their own. So if you lift up half the stalkers, then the Zealots can actually surround the stalkers when they land. And really I'm just making Zealots because I need all the Vespene gas to make these carriers. My main seems to be getting mined out. Red's main is mined out. Seems like everyone's mains are getting mined out right now. Purple still have a little bit left, and so does orange. Yellow's basically mined out. I don't know what's the... Oh, that's a Dark Shrine. So I guess he's going for some DTs. Interesting choice. Well, not interesting choice. That's a very common choice and a good choice. Because in multiplayer, there's usually a lack of detection. Because everybody's just making a lot of units. So DTs can actually do quite a bit of damage. And we have a large battle over here. The Colossus should just tear apart his whole Marine army. Really should back up and get some Vikings before trying to do this. He's not even focusing the Nexus down. I think the best thing to do at this point is probably focus down the Nexus. This Colossus is getting 17 kills. Surprised to see it doesn't have any more than that. That battle is quite decisively lost for us. As I don't know what's the choice for these Thors, or what's the decision behind those Thors. We have a Viking finally, and it dies. These medevacs don't seem like they can survive very long. Blue is still trying to mine Vespine gas. I don't know why he's not making any workers to mine the minerals. I guess he really likes his Vespine gas. Chrono boosting again to make some workers. I don't really know what's happening in this game. But I do know that my Phoenix are out, and I have quite a few carriers. These carriers are about to spawn, and it looks like I'll be pushing out once the carriers spawn. Yellow here losing an expand, transferring these workers to I don't even know where. Looks like a worker rush from Yellow 23 minutes into the game. Very, very interesting things happening in this game. Over here you see Purple and Orange trying to push out. They are quite ahead, and they could probably take out Blue at this point. Or they can just secure this base right now. Either will be a good choice. But my carriers are moving out, trying to take out Yellow. Yellow doesn't really have much. You have this expando, so that's where all the probes went. You want to take this expand. All it really is, when you see this many carriers, accidentally said that on Ally chat, so I didn't actually send him the message. It's a rookie mistake on my part. Dark Shrine didn't really see any use out of it. This gets owned before any DTs could warp in. This is not enough anti-air to deal with the amount of carriers I have. I don't think so. The Phoenix can deal with the Vikings. And Marines are good against interceptors, but really, against this many carriers, I don't know what's really good. Adding in a mothership might be good for me. Over here we see an attack from Orange at my base. Although this base is almost mined out, and I still have this base, so this should be fine. I'm okay with losing this. Although Red's coming down to kill off these units, which is good. And my carriers are just tearing apart this whole army right now. 3 Thors, not good. Thors are just bad against carriers. And against this many carriers or 3 Thors isn't going to work. I'm adding some Void Rays because, well, more carriers isn't going to help. Void Rays are good against units that counter carriers, like Stalkers, and basically a lot of things that shoot, deal extra damage against armor, like Vikings also take extra damage from Void Rays. Don't see enough anti-air being built from these guys. This base is mined out. This base is almost mined out. And these carriers are just tearing every single base apart. I don't know what's up with more Thors. What really people need is get more Marines, like the Terrans. Apparently Orange left, Yellow is wiped out, and Purple is doing purple, like making Thors. And these Phoenix will take out all the Vikings. Really, the Thor should be shooting the Phoenix, and it looks like everyone left. Victory goes to us in this game, and yeah, I guess that's the end of the game. I don't really know what to say at the end of the game, so I guess I'll just see you guys next time.